afternoon, we'll be discussing on how to stop flattening the financial curve by accelerating accounting process through cloud ERP. Next. So our program agenda this afternoon will be as follows. First, accounting process during pre-lockdown and in the new normal. Second, predominant challenges a CFO or an accounting head should focus on. Third, the best practices of adopting to the new normal. And finally, we'll be looking at on the digital transformation to accelerate the accounting process through NetSuite Cloud Financials and accounting software. Next. As everyone knows, this COVID-19 pandemic is unprecedented. Many businesses were uprooted. Those who survived were caught unprepared in some aspects, and one of which is the finance and accounting. So before a lockdown, usually most of our accounting tasks are done at the office, and we usually rely on spreadsheets to come up or to generate the reports needed by the CFO. However, in the new normal, we were forced to stay at home, and with that, we need to do or continue our procedures in the comforts of our home, such as month-end procedures or month-end closing task, preparation of time and expense reports, and then the CFOs requires that that they need to like access their financial reports remotely, and there should be KPIs that are readily available so they can make important financial decisions for their business. So now let's look at the challenges. Next, please. Thank you. So here we have grouped the challenges according to role. So usually these are common challenges. For CFO, um, uh, the challenge here is how to monitor budget reports, how to generate financial reports, and how to have readily available KPIs while staying at home. And for the accounting head is how to proceed with the bank reconciliation, how to record and track recurring expenses and transactions, how to set up budget reports, how to manage fixed asset, how to perform month-end closing of books, and how to like prepare financial reports and comply with the requirements of the BIR. So all of these are challenges that we have encountered during the pandemic. So here on the next slides, we'll be discussing the best practices and how to address these challenges. So first one, it is really ideal to automate the reconciliation of bank accounts in order to avoid errors. Plus, it is also ideal that we can do it in the comforts of our home should there be any unexpected events that may happen. So at least we're able to continue our job or our task or work. Next, it is also ideal to automate the recording of recurring expenses and transactions. So, for example, like monthly rent expense or monthly insurance expense. So it's better to like have it automated. Next, is the monitoring of the lapsing schedule for depreciation of fixed assets. So we're very familiar that fixed asset accountants usually prepares lapsing schedules using spreadsheets. So with NetSuite, we will be able to address that by creating automatic depreciation schedules and performing fixed asset related transactions using a single module. Also, for budgets, usually we have like static budgets, but now with NetSuite, you can create budgets according to your preferences. So it could be based on a budget based on a customer or a single department or a specific item or a combination of them. Okay. Also, it is ideal to complete month and closing task in just a day or two. Usually, um, based on experiences, completing month-end task usually takes a week or more. But with NetSuite, you could do it in just a day or two. Also, uh, we could do scheduling or the sending of financial reports to CFOs. So, right now, CFOs really need to like be able to generate financial reports anytime, anywhere. So NetSuite could address that as well. Next, having readily available KPIs. So it's better to have readily available KPIs, and NetSuite could address that. And also, what is good about NetSuite is that NetSuite KPIs is that you could tailor it according to your business requirements. So in short, it is customizable. And finally, it is also ideal to have a software that complies with the local reporting or taxation requirements. So that's it for best practices. So now we'll be looking at the digital transformation that could be provided by Oracle NetSuite, or that could be addressed by Oracle NetSuite. As to bank reconciliation, companies can set up their own bank reconciliations. So by default, in NetSuite, we have these standard system rules for reconciliation. First is to match transaction number and amount. Second is to match an amount and transaction number without prefixes and leading zeros. And finally, match an amount when date is within 90 previous days. However, users or process owners could come up with their own bank reconciliation rules. And also, what is good about NetSuite bank reconciliation is that you could do it at home or anywhere you are. Okay. Next, also NetSuite bank reconciliation is flexible, so it allows users to review bank data before running automatic reconciliation. So it gives you time to review the information or the data that were in the system. So just to make sure that there are no errors. Okay. Moving on. As to the recurring transactions, NetSuite could address that by using or by providing you the memorized transaction functionality. So companies can set their own preferences as to how they want memorized transaction functionality to run. So like you can, if you have like recurring patterns, you could set the next date, or when do you want to repeat that transaction. You could have it daily, weekly, or monthly basis, or even annually. Also, if you don't like to stop the creation of a recurring transaction, then you could set it to indefinite. So as you can see below, there's an indefinite box there. Also, there's a tab. You could see custom dates. If you don't have like a specific pattern, you could enter or set the dates you want this functionality to run. And by the way, memory transaction is applicable to like purchase orders, sales invoices, expense reports, journal entries, and a lot more. As to budget, companies can set up budgets based on customer, project, department, location, class, item, and account type. So for those customers who don't have a system or an accounting system, so it's really a challenge to come up with a decent budget report. But the NetSuite, you could do anything you want when it comes to budgeting. So you could create different versions of budget. So you could create budgets for different customers, or for different items, or for different departments or locations or account types, or even a combination of all of them. So that is good. That is one thing that is good about the NetSuite budget functionality. Next, please. Thank you. Moving on, when it comes to fixed assets, NetSuite has a very comprehensive way of managing fixed assets, from the creation of records, running transactions, to generation of reports. So as you can see in this screen, it is capable of handling leases. It has fixed asset searches. It has capable of supporting different fixed asset related transactions, such as asset proposal, asset creation, asset depreciation, asset disposal, asset revaluation, asset split, and asset transfer. When it comes to asset transfer, this is this is compliant to the standards uh, we have here in the Philippines. So, like for example, like if you are a business who is operating in the special economic zone, then you could really use this functionality. Also, we have like several fixed asset reports that you could generate anytime you want. Next, let's try to like look at a sample fixed asset record here. So this is the sample fixed asset record. So below, um, you could see important details related to this uh, fixed asset. Also, what is good about NetSuite fixed asset is that you could um, track or record insurance and maintenance if there are. As you could see, um, on the tabs below, there are insurance and maintenance as sub-tabs. And the most important part of this functionality is the depreciation history schedule. Let's try to check that one day. Next, please. Thank you. So here you could see a lapsing schedule. So you have here the date of acquisition and then the depreciation amount per period. So yeah, so it's very detailed, you could see. And when you run depreciation, a journal will be automatically created and it will be posted under the posting reference column. So it's very convenient for the fixed asset accountant to have a feature like this. So they will not be using any more like spreadsheets or to monitor the depreciation or remaining value of a certain asset. Okay, next please. And another highlight in NetSuite is the period closing checklist. So NetSuite has this functionality that wherein it guides users which closing tasks to process first, thereby ensuring a smooth month-end closing. So if everything is already set, you could just go to this page and then perform all the necessary tasks listed on the screen. And once done, you're all now good. So you could now generate or proceed to the next step, such as viewing month-end reports and etc. So if you everything is set, you could do it in just a day or two. Unlike the usual process, which takes usually a week or even more than that. Okay, next please. Now, let's proceed to the reports, financial reports. Users can generate reports by department, by location, by item, or by customer, or a combination of them. So you could see here that there are a lot of filters below. Okay. And then you could also schedule the sending of these reports. Like, for example, a CFO wants this particular report to be sent to him or her every last Friday of the month, then you could do so. You just need to set the necessary values to schedule that one. Also, you could export the report to CSV, PDF, or Excel. You could also print the report if you want. And the most important feature in NetSuite's financial report is the ability to customize. So you could customize the report according to your preference. Yes, this report can be exported to Excel for editing. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So here, these are the available financial reports for NetSuite. So you have income statement, you have comparative income statement, you also have a balance sheet in a detailed one. You also have a comparative balance sheet, which allows you to compare two different periods or two different business years. Yeah. You also have cash flow statement. You have also have general ledger. You have trial balance. You have transaction detailed report and realized exchange rate gains and losses report, as well as unrealized exchange rate gains and losses if you're using the multi-currency feature of NetSuite. And this is aside from that, NetSuite has other several reports like for inventory, for purchases, for demand planning, for order management, and etc. So it's very comprehensive. Okay, next, please. Moving on, let's discuss about KPIs. So NetSuite has hundreds of KPIs that are available for use. So with that, you'll no longer need to use spreadsheet to compute for KPIs or yeah. So in NetSuite, you could just set it up any KPI you want. And what is good about NetSuite KPIs is that they are customizable. So you could set your own formula or or your own comparison, like this period versus last period, or this day versus last year, things like those. Next, um, NetSuite is BIR compliant. Yes, that's right. NetSuite is BIR compliant. So as we all know, this year, the Bureau of Internal Revenue has released some additional requirements related to taxation and reporting. So here we have this feature, Philippine invoicing. So we have a localization bundle which you could install. You just need to plug in the values, and then once you're done, everything is now set. Everything is now good. So you could like generate or create transactions. Okay. So you just need like to enter like permit to use number, etc. Yeah. Next. So this is how it looks like. So you have this statement, this invoice shall be valid for 5 years from the date of the permit to use. So NetSuite is compliant and it's now readily available. You can use it anytime you want. Okay. And finally, audit files are readily available in NetSuite. So if ever you have your external audit and then your auditors will ask you to like generate um, the needed files, then you could have those files in an instant. So you don't need like to spend a week um, fixing all the files or cleaning those files, because those audit files are now available in NetSuite. So you just need to generate those reports. So NetSuite is capable of GL data extract, um, exporting sales journal, purchase journal, cash receipts journal, cash disbursement journal, and as well as inventory book. NetSuite has all of them. Okay, so yeah. So NetSuite is BIR compliant and audit files are readily available for export. So in conclusion, NetSuite allows companies to manage their accounting processes seamlessly using a single platform. As long as there is internet, accounting tasks can be done and completed anywhere, anytime in NetSuite, which is then translated to a more efficient, effective, and profitable business. Thank you.